who don't know a lot about Wild for Life Foundation, can you tell them what the organization does, the kind of breadth and scope of your organization?
Yeah, it's a 501(c) nonprofit, purely volunteer-based and propelled, specifically and broadly for the welfare and protection of animals and against animal cruelty. The broad spectrum, been involved in things such as the seals, the whales, dogs, cats, of course horses. So pretty much the prevention of cruelty to animals and preservation of animals in their natural habitats as well.
Great. And so for people who want to volunteer or help your organization, how could they go about doing that?
Well, our website is probably the best place to go if you're not right here. That is Wild for Life. That's Wild and then FOR, Life Foundation.org. And in there is all the different things that the foundation does and ways to connect with the foundation, become a member. Saving America's Horses, for example, the film, is a fully sponsored project of Wild for Life Foundation. And you can go in and you can become a member and support the film, for example. You can support the Lifetime Equine Refuge, which is the part of the foundation that actually cares for rescued horses after they have been saved from the slaughter pipeline. So there are many things like that, and it's all on wildforlifefoundation.org's website.
Great, thank you. So how did your partnership with Saving America's Horses, with the film and with the filmmaker, how did that come about?
Well, it pretty much was came about. The film came about after Katya had done some radio programs and broadcast and brought these different factions together. And as she had been interviewing different ones about different subject matters, she found out how little each one knew about the other, and yet they were all pretty much trying to propel the same message forward. And so from that experience, the film was born, basically. And then she traveled around the country doing interviews, filming all the different sceneries, gathering a bunch of other information from some of these other organizations, individuals that have been proponents for, in this case, the horses, and brought it all together to put it into the film. Yeah.
And what do you think of the film? How important do you think it is for people to see this film?
The film is extraordinarily important for people that care. To see it, and those that have any say whatsoever in the legislative process definitely need to see it. There is more information packed into this film in one spot in a very short period of time than people would be able to go out and try to find on their own for days and days. And the importance of the film is the message. Not only that the wild horses are in danger, many people know about that, but the fact that other horses of all sorts of disciplines are in peril to the fate of slaughter. Not just the slaughter that people think, oh yeah, the glue factories. No, but the slaughter process for human consumption, specifically overseas. And it's amazing every time I talk to somebody from the general public and even mention scratching the surface on this issue, they're flabbergasted. They don't know. And every single time that they find out, they go, well, how can we do that? Why are we doing that? We shouldn't be doing that. And that's the importance of this film and why people should see it, is to educate themselves not only as to the what, but also the why and the underlying backstory of the legislative process that's perpetuating that as well.
I had a lot of those same reactions when I was watching the film. I couldn't believe that this is going on.
Yeah,
right, yeah. Well, and finally, the Artivist Film Festival. Let's talk about them.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of film festivals like this. How important do you think a festival like this is for filmgoers?
Well, a festival such as Artivist is extremely important in the fact that there aren't that many of them that focus on the issues that Artivist brings forth. And again, so many people have no clue. They're so busy, especially with the way things are today, so busy with their day-to-day lives and just trying to keep their own head above water, that they are almost totally ignorant about what's going on there with the animals and how things are done. Not just that things are being done, but how they're being done. And that's extremely important, because before anything can change and go forward, people must be educated and the messages need to be brought forth. And that's what Artivist does here.
Well, thank you. I think that's good.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. I appreciate it. And thanks for getting the film out. We appreciate it.
We hope we get a lot of support, and we're hopefully looking to get it distributed so that it can be seen on a much broader scale. Because once enough people see it, and they understand that there are bills sitting in the houses of Congress that are being stalled and stonewalled by the special interest groups, then they can start making their voices heard, and then we maybe can get that bill passed, and then stop this, barbaric treatment of our domestics and wild horses in this country, and so that they don't have to fall that grisly fate of slaughter. Yeah.
Thank you for telling us about the future of the film. Yeah, I was wondering where you wanted to go.
Well, we want to go everywhere. But as you know, that takes money, and this has been funded, as Kati had mentioned inside, on donations and personal resources and volunteers, and we need some big resources now to take it to the next level: post-production, distribution, channeling, all of those things, to get it out into theaters, eventually into DVDs and what have you. Yeah.
So many people watch like HBO and Showtime and TV.
And all of that, and we'd like to get it out on the big screens as much as possible to make that impact, and then go on to the smaller screen afterwards. Yeah, but keep the message going, because even when, I say when, not if, but when this legislation that is currently out there does get passed, there will still be a need for education for the people to understand what has been going on behind the scenes, so that we can help make sure it doesn't happen again.